So just a few words a reminder that this journey, this what we call our life or this human experience, is not about the human experience. This journey, this manifestation, is not about what appears. It is not about what you are experiencing. It is not about what has happened. It is not about what is happening. It is not about what will happen. It is about happiness. Another way of putting it, it's about awakening from ignorance. It's about realizing your true nature. It is about coming to the happiness that has no cause, that is not dependent on a relationship, that is not dependent on a situation, that is not dependent on an experience. It is about the revelation of causeless peace and happiness. It is about the revelation of the self, of our true nature. There is only one reality, and this reality is the reality of the world and the reality of the mind. And when you contemplate what this reality is, you will not find it in anything that appears, but you will find it indirectly via what appears. Because everything that appears to you is referring to that does not appear. It is referring to consciousness, to awareness, to beingness, to presence. Everything that appears is referring to the self. What you are, what you truly are in this moment, the reality of your experience, when you contemplate that, you will not find any object. You will find silence and stillness. You will find a reality that is undeniable, but that has no phenomenal qualities, that is non-phenomenal. In our conditioned state, meaning in our identity as a personal self living in an external world, we are perceiving objects and forms and we are seeking them, and we are defining ourselves via our feelings and our emotions. When we have a good perception, a happy perception, we feel happy. When there is a stormy perception, we feel unhappy. And it will continue to do so. This is how it is at that level, at the level of the mind. So when we are contemplating our experience, we are coming to a different understanding than the understanding of good and bad. This is good and that is bad. We are coming to a different understanding, to a different revelation, which is there is a happiness, there is a peace, there is a reality that does not place conditions, that does not make requests and requirements from the world or from the body or the mind. And this reality is referred to the true I. There is only one I. And this I, which is the self, the I that perceives right now the reality of perception, has no conditions, is not in the world, is not journeying, is not traveling from point A to point B, is not losing or gaining. Losing and gaining, loss and gain are images, ideas, and sensations that are interpreted that way from the conditioned mind perspective, that is holding on, and via this holding on, it's identifying itself as somebody. But when there is no holding on, like in deep sleep, are you somebody? In this moment, are you somebody? Are you somebody? Someone? As soon as you say yes, you've just basically said yes. You've accepted to define yourself according to thought and according to feelings. And that's your freedom. You can define yourself as somebody. Yes, I am somebody, and such and such is my name, and such is my history. And this morning, this and that happened to me, and yesterday, this and that happened to me, and I'm hoping tomorrow, this and that will happen to me. Okay. That's your freedom to define yourself this way. But it's not your happiness. That is for sure. So what happens when I, for a moment, decide to remain unknowing, to remain transparent, to remain as is? We may experience some emotions, some bodily sensations, some feelings. Is it possible to be still, to remain silent, to remain as complete presence to what is arising? It makes sense because it is arising. If you try to run away from what is arising, where would you go? Can you run away from the weather? Can you? Can you move away from what is? You can't. But can you stay without defining what is? You may ask, well, no, I can't, because the mind, these thoughts are arising and they're defining me and they're defining what is, which is understandable. It's a good point. But can you also notice that there is something that is not defined, that perceives all these definitions, that perceives thoughts, that perceives meditations, that perceives sensations, that right now is perceiving this perception, and that is. And this isness is not something that is perceived. Just to recognize that there is also that. We're not creating it. We're not creating some idea. We're just noticing that, in fact, there is also this still presence, this silent, still knowingness, this silent, still awareness. It is there. Just to notice that and to recognize that, yeah, there is that too. And that does not come and go. Whenever you look for it, it is there. Whenever you look for presence, whenever you look for awareness, it's there. But whenever you look for the thoughts and the sensations, it's not there. It's changed. Now it's a new thought, a new sensation. Or maybe there is no thought and no sensation. Maybe there is just nothing, just being. So what is it that you can rely on? The thoughts and the sensations that are changing every second, every moment, the stories about me, tomorrow, yesterday? Or that is always there, not an object, not a thing. Where will you put your trust? In what will you put your trust? In the thoughts and the feelings that you try to fix and repair and maintain and make them better and hope it works out. Oh, I hope it works out for me. I hope it works out for me. You're putting you're banking in with Al Capone. You're putting your money in Al Capone's bank. You know, bank with consciousness. Keep returning to that. And allow the rest to be as it is, as it unfolds. There is no solution within thought or within feelings. That is not the path. What is it this very moment? Isn't every moment a moment of fresh beingness? Can we notice this absolute transparency that is noticing itself? It appears as this appearance without leaving itself, without becoming anything. Nothing is happening to you. Nothing is happening to you. Nothing. There is nothing at stake. What you hold on, what you are holding on to is the holding on to. You are holding on to holding on. You are holding on to holding on. A habitual holding on, whining and regretting and hoping, wishing, and all this holding on. Various forms of resistance and holding on. What is it? What is it that is holding on? To what? Where would you go to hold on to something? Where? Isn't your very self to perceive everything as myself? What is everything but your very perception? What is everything but this perception that's arising within awareness and consciousness? The everything of awareness, taking on the form of perception, but remaining as it is, remaining the formless beingness.